prayer on Shabbos, and it says keep the Shabbos and remember the Shabbos. A few pasukim, you put it all together, maybe there's 50 words in the whole Torah to talk about Shabbos.
Ezu is just a few.
Ezu is just a few, right? Like some words, some sentences. Ubetorah shebal peh. But in the oral Torah, it is Mesechta, a tractate shlema. It is a whole entire tractate. How many pages does it have? I forget. 140 something. Look and see. And so it is also. Here it is. B'kol mitzvahs, in all the commandments, in the written Torah. In the written Torah, here we go. No, I'm sorry. It's 150. It's 157. It's 156. 156 pages in Shabbos, in the Gemara Shabbos. 160 pages, 156 pages of information in the Torah, in the written Torah. I don't think there's 156 words about Shabbos. I doubt it. You can look and see, maybe. Right? Maybe. The Ten Commandments says a lot about Shabbos, I guess it does say. Could be, maybe there's 160. You have to count them. But it's close. In the oral Torah, there's thousands of words about Shabbos. Why is it that way? Why? Why did God give the written Torah so concealed? Why is it in such shorthand? Kol ha'gavna, and so it is v'kah ha'gavna, and so it is v'chol mitzvahs, in all the commandments. V'zehu, and this is shetor shebichtav, that the written Torah, he is bechin chachma. The written Torah, this is the wisdom of God, the chachma of God, the faith, if you want to call it. Shebekitzer, it's very short. It's like the seed. V'remez, and everything is in a hint. The Torah Shabal Peh, and the oral Torah is called Bina. Bina is like the hay of God's name. B'Yisrachvus, it's wide. V'Yizgalus, and everything is revealed. V'Zeu, and that's what it says. She'omer, it says in Sefer Yetzirah. That's what it means. We're going back to our question. Haven b'Chachma, have understanding in Chachma. The Torah shebichtav, that the written Torah, shehi bechinet chachma, that it is the level of chachma, the written Torah, which the written Torah is like the seed. That's like the level of the Father. That's chachma. It's just a little point. Shalamayla, it's above me'asag, understanding. The written Torah is above understanding. Mikol makom, nevertheless, tzorich liot, there has to be Pazeh, in this Shelamayla, which is above Mihasaga, understanding. The written Torah is above understanding. What does it mean? Take the written Torah, just take the written Torah itself and just read through it. I'm not talking about the book of Bereshit, the stories, the nice stories, and all the nice stories that are about Moses and the going out of Egypt. That's very nice. After Parshas Bo, the third chapter of the Torah, there it starts to give the commandments, right? Read the commandments. Just read the commandments in English. See if you have any understanding at all. See if you have an understanding. And not only that, even more. Who says that the translation is right? Who says the translation is right? Right? That's what it says in the Ten Commandments. Shomer et Yom HaShabbat. Zachor et Yom HaShabbat. Right? Zachor means what? Remember. How do you know the Zachor means remember? How do you know what it means remember? Maybe it means men. Zachor is a man. Right? A Zachor. Maybe it means men keep the Sabbath. How do you know the word Shabbat means Sabbath? Maybe the word Shabbat means to sit, the Shevet, to sit down. Maybe it means to rest. How do you know Al Tirtzach, don't kill, means kill? Maybe it means don't wash. Al Tirchatz. Maybe just mix up the words. Don't wash. You're not allowed to wash. How do you know? How do you know what the letter Resh is pronounced? How do you know these things? You don't know. The Torah itself does not necessarily make any sense whatsoever. You can't put those. On the other hand, the oral Torah, the whole thing of the oral Torah is to make sense, right? The whole thing is to make sense. If you sit and you don't understand what's going on, then you haven't done any commandment. There's no commandment there. The commandment is to understand. You have to understand the oral Torah. Therefore, you have to put the words together. You have to understand what they mean. It has to make sense. The whole thing has to make sense. So the written Torah essentially does not make any sense. These are the letters of God. The word, in fact, that's the holiness. The holiness of the written Torah are the letters. When you get called up to read the Torah on Shabbat or in the weekday, you call them, you make a blessing. Even if you don't understand one word, you make a blessing. Because the main thing is you're hearing the words of the Torah. Just the syllables, the words. That's the holiness of the Torah. Right? The understanding of the Torah, that's not the holiness. That's another thing. That's understanding. God made a big miracle that you can also understand the Torah. This is wonderful. But the written Torah, the main thing of the written Torah is just the letters, the words, the sounds. Right? That's the main thing. But, says the Rebbe, nevertheless, mikol makom, nevertheless, sorich liot, there has to be, bezeh, and this, ketzat, a little hasaga, understanding, I'll call upon him at least. You should have a little understanding also in the mysteries of these letters and words. How do you do that? Who it is, al yadei, by means of midrashim, by means of different medrash. Medrash means that they take certain words and they explain these words in the midrash. And the Zohar. Zohar is also a midrash. Zohar, but it's a Kabbalistic midrash. Midrash means that it's a way of learning out. What do they call it? Exegesis?
Exegesis.
Exegesis.
Textual analysis.
Exegesis, yeah. Where they got that word from? Okay, anyway. Exegesis. Anyway, whatever it is, homiletic understanding. They got these words I never heard before. Exegesis. You never heard anybody use these words in normal conversation. Right? Please, give me a little exegesis. I need something. What is that? It's something you buy over the counter, medicine or something. What's exegesis? Anyway, exegesis. That's the Sefer, the Midrash, and the Zohar. That explains a little bit about the words, the letters, the makeup of the Torah, the mysteries a little bit. Shemizeh, from this, yochol liot, you can have ketzat, a little bit, hasaga, of understanding, b'torah shebechtav, in the written Torah, in even just the written letters of the Torah. That's what it means, have understanding in Chachma. What does it mean, have Chachma in understanding? And this is the main point that Rabbi wants to get to. The Torah Shebal Peh, that the Bina is the oral Torah. Now you have to understand something, rabbis. All of the enemies of Judaism, the first thing that they lash out at is the oral Torah. The oral Torah is what gets everybody. The Muslims are a little bit different. The Muslims, they say that also the written Torah is also not so. The Muslims say that the Jews don't have the written Torah anymore, that they lost it. But okay, that's their idea. They have no proof. They just have a theory, whatever it is. Their whole religion is based on that. They never really look to see, is it true or not? I've asked them, when exactly did the Jews lose the Torah? According to your thought, what was the date? When did they lose it? Around what time? According to what we say, we've had the Torah, we've been reading the Torah nonstop 3 times a week since Moses got it. Since Moses got the Torah, we've been reading it. When did we lose it? All of a sudden they went to Shul and say, okay, read the Torah. I don't know where it is. Maybe go next door to the next door. Shul, maybe they have the Torah. I don't know where is it. Where's the Torah? I don't know what. I think I left it I went swimming, I think I left it in the pool. Let's go across the street, there's another shul, we'll get the Torah. Where's the Torah? Everybody's walking around, where the heck is the Torah? We can't. Everybody lost the Torah. They lost it. Who lost it? You lost the Torah, you idiot, how'd you lose the Torah? Everyone lost the Torah. The Torah is totally lost. They put signs up that anybody find 5 million Sefer Torahs, they're all lost. Nobody remembers anything. All the scribes, they don't remember. There's no books. We don't remember nothing. All of a sudden comes Muhammad. I got a new Torah. You want to know why you lost the Torah? Because God doesn't want you to have the Torah. He wants me to have the Torah. That's why. That's why you all lost, right? You all lost the Torah? Yeah, hey, you're right. We all did lose the Torah. I mean, this is pretty weird.
I thought his writings were largely based on the Torah.
They're based on the Torah because he had the real Torah, you understand? Maybe he stole them all. Could be. I mean, in Israel, they do it all the time. The Arabs, sure, they steal Torahs and they sell them to people. They do. So maybe it could be. There's a big headlines, right? Tremendous rash of Torah thieves. All the Torahs in the world got stolen. The Jews, when they used to leave, they got kicked out of Spain. They used to take the Torah with them. You can imagine that you carry a Torah, just to carry it from the bima to this thing. How hard it is, right? They used to take the Sefer Torahs. They used to write small Sefer Torahs, and they would take it with them. There's supposed to be somewhere that they have a Sefer Torah from Ezra. It's written in this, from Ezra the Sofer. Ezra the Sofer was like 2,500 years ago. They have a Sefer Torah of 2,000. I don't think it's existence anymore. But the previous Rebbe said that he saw it. He saw it. I guess in World War II, a lot of things got. Okay, let's go. Anyway, Chacham Bebina means the Torah Shabbal Peh. This is what I wanted to say. All the enemies of Judaism, the first thing they strike at is the oral Torah. Why do we strike at the oral Torah? You'll see why. Because she'orech, that the length, orech, varochev, like the depth and the wideness, that when you start to take the ideas of the Torah and you learn the wideness and the depth of these ideas, how they are in the Talmud, and the tremendous genius of these people, yochol, you're able, liyot, to be, shelo yada, that he does not know, nekud, the point, ha'emet, of the truth. It could be that the Talmud is so complicated, and when you start to understand it, that you start to feel so good that you forget about God. I saw once an advertisement for one of these yeshivas, one of the Baal Tshuva yeshivas. It said, to learning Torah, there was a picture of a little man from his back. The picture, one of these drawers, a fellow in Bnei Brak, his name is Rothstein or something like that. He draws pictures, something like Salvador Dali, but more realistic. But it's that same sort of a style. Mahavdil. Right? Very talented artist. So he says, you see a picture of a little man standing from the back. You see in the distance this huge 5 mountains. And they're all the 5 books of the Torah. And he has a quotation there from, there was a guy called Hillary. He was the first person to conquer Mount Everest. And it says, it was there, and I was here, and I knew I had to conquer it. In other words, I'm going to conquer the Torah. So it could be that you conquer the Torah, but the Torah doesn't conquer you. In other words, you learn the Torah, and you forget about the whole point, that the Torah is not something for you to conquer. The Torah is God's will and God's wisdom. God is creating you. You're not creating God. So God is bigger than you. The Torah is bigger than you. The Torah is representing the creator of the whole universe, and even more deep than that. So don't forget the point. You can learn the whole Torah and be tremendously versed and expert in the whole Torah, but forget about who gave the Torah. Here it says, Chacham bebina, have wisdom and understanding, means there's 5 more minutes. Torah Shabbal Peh, mipnei, because orach v'rocha, because the length and the width, yochol liyot, it can be, shelo yada, that you do not know, nekudat, the point. You have the point where we are. The first word is v'rochav. You don't remember the point of truth. Ukamo, and like, for instance, period, after M is put a period. Ukamo, and for instance, Shalom med, he learns, halacha, a law. Im, with. Perush, Rashi, the explanation of Rashi. V'tosfos, ubariboy pilpul, and a lot of pilpul, a lot of, I say, what's the word for pilpul? Like arguments, debate back and forth. You know what each and every opinion says, and you know all of a sudden this opinion is, the Ran says this, and the Rashba says like this, and the Rosh says like this, and the Rif says like that. All these people are genius, holy people, that they know the whole Torah, they know science, they know everything. And this person has this opinion. Ooh, you learn the Eino Yodea, and you know all the opinions, and you know the whole thing, but you do not know Nekudat Emet. You don't know the point, Shal Halacha, of the law. A person can learn all these different points, but how it really comes down to actual doing, right? It used to be, it's not anymore. The Rebbe changed a lot of this. But it used to be that people, even these big Talmidei Chachamim, they never used to check their tefillin. They never checked their tefillin. And they had tefillin that were, they were not, they didn't put tremendous emphasis. The main emphasis is in learning Torah. Learning Torah is the main thing. Tefillin, you put on tefillin. You tefillin. They didn't check them. The Rebbe had this thing about checking your tefillin like once every year or even once every 2 years, that people, something bad happens in the family, check your mezuzahs. The mezuzahs protect you, the tefillin protect you. People started checking their mezuzahs and tefillin. It used to be that people didn't check, and your mezuzah you would check once in 7 years. That's what it says. You have twice in 7 years. That's what you have to do, right? The Rebbe said you check. Some people now they check once every year, once every other year. You check 3 times in 7 years, 4 times in 7 years. People check their tefillin once every 2 years, once every 3 years, right? They buy nicer tefillin. They put more emphasis in tefillin. The Sofrim know more the laws about tefillin. It would be that people would learn the laws. I'm telling you, I lived in Bnei Brak. I saw things that I couldn't believe. I can tell you some stories that I just, I went to, there was a sofer, a guy, it was one of these Litvisha guys. This is already 35 years ago. Maybe the whole thing has changed now. But he was checked, I got to be friendly with him, and he had a bunch of pairs of tefillin, and I said, listen, I want to go and put tefillin on people in the market. Can I have, he says, listen, I have all these tefillin. I'll check them all, and I'll give them to you for free, and then I'll partner with you in tefillin and putting on tefillin. I said, good. He checked all the tefillin, all were checked and everything. I went and I put on tefillin. I had a bad feeling about it. I don't know why I had a bad feeling about it. After I was there a half a year, maybe less, could be, I went and had them checked by somebody else. All of them were totally not kosher. They were totally not kosher. The color of the ink was not black. It was so old that the color had faded, so that was brown. That makes it not kosher. And the guy didn't know the laws. He didn't know the laws, and he gave tefillin. I told him afterwards. He got angry. I told him, yeah, he'd been doing this to who knows how many people. Right? I didn't know the laws of this. But they would sit and they would learn Torah all the time. They would learn, but they wouldn't get to the point. They would know all the opinions and everything, but the point was, hey, buy nice big tefillin. That's the end of the, no, it doesn't have to be big. Buy, some of the Sephardic Jews have a place with 2 pairs of, but buy expensive tefillin. Buy from a person who knows all the law. You have to know the point. You're not doing Judaism. You're doing what God wants. That's Judaism. Right? It's not that you're doing your religion. You have your religion, I have my religion. You have your religion, I have God's religion. Right? I'm doing what the creator of the universe wants me to do. But some people forget the point. So if I'm doing what the creator of the universe wants, right? If I have a rich person comes and visits so I do everything he wants. I laugh at all of his jokes, anything the guy wants. A rich person comes to visit the yeshiva, he's going to give money, everything he does is fine. He wants this type of food, whatever he wants, I do. Right? Anything. Right? And what God is creating me, I don't do what he wants. Come on, you should at least be, here God is giving you everything for free. So I don't have to make an impression on him. So big deal. Right? No, you should. When you learn the Talmud, learning the Talmud has to be chacham bebina. You have to have the point, the faith, if you want to call it, inside of understanding. Just 3 more words. Al zeh Omar, and this it says chacham bebina, and that it says wisdom in understanding. That we said before that wisdom is the oral Torah. Shiyada, that he knows. The last word on the line. The last word on the line is shiyada. You have it? The last word on the line. Huh? That's what it means. V'chakam bebina. That's what it means. Have wisdom in understanding. In other words, yeah. Al ze Omer. On this it says. That's what it means. Chacham bebina. Sheyoda, that he knows. Ad nekudat, the point. Ha'emet, of truth. Shel halacha, of the law. You know the inner point, namely what? That this law is God's will, and that you know what actually to do. How to bring it down, negate yourself, and how actually to bring this down into the physical world. What really to do. V'zeu, and that's what it means, al pi pshut. That's the simple meaning. V'al lashon chasidut. V'a, according to the language of chasidut, is liyo. We'll talk about this tomorrow. God willing, tomorrow. Come on time tomorrow, rabbis. Huh?